Liverpool is facing a delicate situation in the transfer market, and this time, the pressure seems immense. With the atmosphere of restructuring at the club, led by coach Arne Slot, the departure of key players seems inevitable, and one of those departures involves a goalkeeper who could be sold for a value much lower than his true market evaluation. The scenario is, at the very least, concerning, and Chelsea is keeping an eye on this market opportunity. Liverpool, which is usually a protagonist in transfer windows, is not having the same luck as in the past. One of the most urgent issues for the club is the future of its key players, who are about to enter the final months of their contracts. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah are indisputable stars of the team, but their future at Anfield is at risk. Their contracts expire in just 4 months, meaning Liverpool could lose these stars without receiving any financial compensation. The situation is far from ideal, and Jurgen Klopp's team, now under the direction of Arne Slot, is in a critical moment. Liverpool is therefore preparing for a major overhaul of its squad, something that seems to be an urgent necessity. With Arne Slot wanting to shape the team to his style of play, restructuring is underway and several players are expected to be let go. This clean-up could mean that important athletes will leave the club, but what stands out is how much the club might be forced to sell players below their true market value. A case that has gained prominence in recent weeks involves Irish goalkeeper Kelleher. The Mirror, a renowned media outlet, reported that Kelleher's departure from Liverpool is practically certain this summer. Although the goalkeeper had been a valuable asset in the past, especially when the starting goalkeeper Alisson Becker was injured, Kelleher has always made it clear that he wanted to be the undisputed starter at another team. However, Liverpool could not fulfil his desire, and the Irishman stayed at the club. What is most surprising is not that he is leaving, but that Liverpool chose to keep him for so long, considering the player's desire and the lack of opportunities at Anfield. The truth is that Kelleher's departure, which seems inevitable, could have happened sooner. But Liverpool, under Jurgen Klopp's leadership, was forced to keep the goalkeeper in the squad due to Alisson's injury and the arrival of Georgi Mamardashvili, who will only join the team at the end of the season. As a result, Kelleher had to wait longer, but the situation changed with Mamardashvili's arrival, which means the Irishman no longer has a place in the team. Now, Liverpool finds itself in a difficult situation, with Kelleher's imminent departure being forced by the lack of opportunities for him and the need to readjust the squad. What makes this even more complicated is that the club may have to sell the goalkeeper for a sum much lower than his original evaluation. While Kelleher is estimated to be worth £40 million, the club could end up accepting only £20 million, a significantly lower amount than expected. And Chelsea, which has already shown interest, could be the biggest beneficiary of this situation. In addition to Chelsea, other clubs like Newcastle United and Bournemouth are also monitoring Kelleher's situation, waiting for the opportunity to acquire the Irish goalkeeper at an affordable price. These clubs, of course, will be especially attracted by the possibility of a discount, taking advantage of Liverpool's pressure to sell quickly. Despite all the difficulties, Liverpool may still find some consolation in at least avoiding losing the player without any financial compensation, which would be even more damaging. However, the fact that the club has to sell a valuable player like Kelleher for a price well below his evaluation represents yet another unwanted twist for the club. In a competitive and challenging market, situations like this can be a harsh blow, especially for a team that wants to rebuild and reach new heights with a new manager like Arne Slot. What remains now is to wait for the next chapters of this transfer saga at Liverpool. The club will need to find quick and effective solutions to avoid losing more valuable assets for pennies, while trying to move forward with a team more adapted to the new manager's style. The summer promises to be busy for Liverpool, and the decisions made now could directly impact the team's future in the upcoming seasons. Liverpool continues to impress, not only with its on-field performance, but also with its approach off the field, showing that it is on a level of excellence far above other clubs, especially Arsenal. As Arne Slot's team remains strong and solid, building a strong season and extending its 13-point lead over Arsenal, it's impossible to ignore that the club from Anfield is growing further apart from its rivals, not just in technical aspects, but also in its relationship with fans and management of its resources. And if the distance in the standings is already notable, Liverpool's off-the-pitch decisions only reinforce this disparity even more. The standout move comes from the recent decision to freeze ticket prices for the 2025/26 season. Liverpool made an impressive move by keeping ticket prices and general admission levels the same as the previous season, and, more importantly, keeping children's tickets at £9, which demonstrates a lasting commitment to the club's fan base. This is even more significant considering the general rise in operational costs for football, especially with the ongoing increase in matchday costs at Anfield and the overall impact of operations in football. In a scenario where many Premier League clubs are increasing ticket prices, Liverpool has chosen to stay firm in its commitment to fans, showing a unique stance of social responsibility and respect. This decision didn't come out of a moment of pure charity, but from a successful campaign led by fans who united to ensure the club remained accessible to all, especially families and younger supporters, by keeping children's tickets affordable. Liverpool, alongside clubs like West Ham United and Brentford, joins the growing trend of freezing prices, showing that listening to the voice of the fan is a key pillar of the club's management. Now, while Liverpool can celebrate this victory with its supporters, the situation at Arsenal is quite different and serves as a clear example of the growing divide between the two teams, not only in the standings, but in club management. While Liverpool opts for a strategy that benefits its fan base, Arsenal appears to be following a completely different path. The London club is about to announce an inflationary increase of around 3.7% in ticket prices for the next season, which, in a context of inflation and rising cost of living, can only be seen as an extremely unpopular decision and out of touch with the reality of the fans. It's not just the price hike that's uncomfortable for Arsenal fans, but the fact that the club already has the most expensive season ticket in the Premier League, exceeding the £1,000 mark. This increase, therefore, not only reinforces the idea that Arsenal is more concerned with its revenue than the well-being of its supporters, but it also places the club in a position where the disconnect with its fan base becomes increasingly evident. It's a complicated situation for Arsenal, which, by all indications, hasn't learned the lesson from other clubs that have listened to their fans' pleas and made sensible and supportive decisions. After months of discussions with supporter groups, Arsenal is preparing to implement a price increase that will be felt by many of its supporters, especially those who already feel the weight of having the most expensive ticket in the league. While Liverpool has stood out by deciding to freeze prices, Arsenal, on the other hand, seems more willing to alienate its own fans, ignoring protests and opinions from its supporter base. This contrast between the two clubs reflects a fundamental difference, not only in administrative decisions, but also in management philosophies and how each club understands its relationship with its fans. While Liverpool ensures that its supporters are heard and attended to, offering affordable prices for those who love the club, Arsenal seems to be ignoring what truly matters: the loyalty and support of its fan base. This not only affects the club's image, but also creates an increasing distance between the players, management, and supporters. Liverpool, under Arne Slot's leadership, is not just winning games on the pitch, but also building a deep and solid connection with its supporters. The decision to freeze ticket prices is a significant win for the club's fans, who know that their voice is heard and respected. This reflects responsible management, understanding the importance of keeping the club accessible to everyone, and ensuring that every supporter, whether young or old, can experience Anfield without being financially overwhelmed. Additionally, with a 13-point lead over Arsenal, the Reds continue to position themselves as the leaders of a new era in football, with a clear focus on building a strong team, but also on maintaining the core values that define Liverpool as a community-centred club. Arsenal, on the other hand, seems to be losing its way. Not only are they trailing Liverpool in the standings, but they are also showing a lack of connection with their own fans, a failure that could prove costly in the long run. The announced price increase, combined with the most expensive season ticket in the Premier League, makes Arsenal seem disconnected from the needs of its supporters, which could further damage the club's image. After all, football is about more than just results on the pitch. It's about building a solid relationship with the fan base and recognising the crucial role they play in the club's success. If Arsenal continues on this path, with a management team ignoring its fans' needs, the gap to Liverpool, both on and off the field, will only continue to grow. In summary, Liverpool continues to establish itself as a model of effective management, sensitive to the needs of its supporters and unbeatable in its quest for success. The contrast with Arsenal couldn't be more evident. While the Reds continue to climb to new heights with a close and respectful relationship with their fans, Arsenal seems to be following a path where the distance from their fan base is only set to increase. Liverpool has once again shown why they are ahead, not just on the football field, but also in what really matters: the relationship with their fans and the responsible management of their resources.